Hi Far West, a very late Shavua Tov. I'm sorry this video is too late. There were some technical difficulties. Moving right along, this week's Parsha, which was a few days ago on Shabbat, is Parshat Lekh. Very cool. Let's get started. So, if you remember from last week at the end of Parshat Noach, we have a bunch more genealogy. This guy Terach is born, who has a son named Avram, who has a nephew named Lot, and all of them are attempting to move from Ur Kasdim to Canaan, but they end up just settling in Haran. Remember that for the end of this video. The theme of this week that you're going to notice is basically promises from higher beings to humans who are worrying about the legacy, #Hamilton, that you will leave, mainly in terms of their descendants. So in the beginning of the Parsha, God tells Avram, note his name is not Avraham yet, it's just Avram, that will come in later, to move to Haaretz Asher Areka, the land that I will show you, and promises to make him a great nation and name. Avram somehow immediately obeys, never questions this. He's 75 years old at this point, but he takes his whole family and gets up and moves to this land. He doesn't even know where he's going. He just knows he's going to the land that he will be shown. But somehow, I don't know. He's cool with it. So they're traveling. There's a story that we're going to kind of glimpse over very quickly because it's very long. Basically, there's famine in Egypt, so they have to go there to get food. Abraham is worried that the Paro will take Sarai as his wife because she's very pretty, and he does. And basically, end of the story, Abraham gets very rich, and he's given a lot of things, including a maidservant named Hagar, which he gives to Sarai, which will be important later on. So he and Lot decide to separate. Lot's his nephew, remember. Lot takes this fertile plain of Jordan, which has the cities in it of Sodom and Amorah, very important for next week, and Abraham goes the other way. And God again makes a promise to Abraham, this time that he'll be as plentiful as the dust of the earth, that his descendants will be as plentiful as the dust on the earth. There's a long story about Lot being kidnapped and Avram rescuing him, but refusing to take a reward. Avram's a cool guy. Moral of the story. God again promises to give Abraham a lot of kids, this time as many as the stars in the sky. You've probably heard that one. Abraham's worried because he has no kids, but he trusts in God. God also says that Avram's descendants will spend 400 years as slaves in a foreign land, which will definitely be important in a few weeks when we're slaves in Egypt. So Sarai has not been able to get pregnant. So she gives her servant Hagar to Avram, and they have a kid together. And Sarai is very jealous and is mean to her. So Hagar runs away. An angel finds her, and the angel says she should go back to Sarai and promises that her son Ishmael will have too many offspring to count. Again, you can see the theme here. God changes Avram's name to Avraham as a symbol of God's promise. You could either look at this because the Hey means God's name, or because it means that Avraham's name stands for Av Hamon Goyim, the father of many nations. And it changes Sarai's name to Sarah, also with the Hey, same thing. And also, God commands Abraham to circumcise himself, Ishmael, and every man in his household. Abraham is 99 years old, Ishmael is 13 years old. Not a fun experience. And again promises to give Sarah a son. Abraham laughs. He laughs like a Hutzochek. Yitzchak will be the name of his son. Oh, you get it. I want to zoom in on one quick idea. So the beginning of the Parsha, when they're moving to Canaan, it says, Vayitzu Lekh Arza Canaan, Vayavo Arza Canaan. They left to go to the land of Canaan, and then they arrived at Canaan. Why does it repeat itself? Isn't it obvious that they left to go to Canaan, they're going to get to Canaan? So this next teaching is based on something by Rabbi Ephraim Mervis, the chief rabbi of Great Britain. And he brings in a teaching by the Chafetz Chaim, who's also known by as Rabbi Yisrael Meir Kagan, who was a 17th century Russian commentator. The Chafetz Chaim says, hey, remember how last week at the end of the Parsha, Abraham's father, Terach, also said he's going to Canaan, but never makes it there because he settles in Haran instead? Yeah, so this teaches us that good intentions are not enough. We should always try to be like Abraham instead of Terach and achieve our goals. If we say we're going to do something, it's up to us to make sure we accomplish that. Rabbi Mervis likes what the Chafetz Chaim says, but changes it a little bit. He brings in this beautiful notion from Pirkei Avot, basically the book of Jewish ethics, and he says, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin levatel mimena. You've probably heard this one before. It is not up to you to complete every task that you start, but that doesn't free you from starting those tasks. I'm going to quote Rabbi Mervis here. Terach did start a worthwhile task. He did embark on that journey. However, ultimately, his dream was fulfilled one generation later. You don't have to complete every task that you start, but that doesn't mean that you're free from trying your best to achieve it. I just thought that was beautiful, and also brings in the theme of, again, sometimes your children are people who will complete your dreams for you, which is why people are so worried about whether or not they're going to have kids. So, Elei Shavua Tov and Elei Shabbat Shalom. I'll see you next week with Parshat Vayera. Have a great day.